Devastations of World War II destroyed 85% of Warsaw. Were Poles able to rebuild it? Simply breathtaking, untouched architecture and monuments. Numerous attempts to restore the entire historical makeup of the city. Today, it's a vibrant Polish city that is more modern than you probably think. Warsaw offers so many things to do and see and has everything you want when you are going on a city break. Incredible landmarks, beautiful old town streets and squares, lovely parks and gardens, cool museums, hearty local food, and vibrant nightlife. Warsaw's old town is the jewel of the Polish capital's crown. It delights visitors with its colorful tenement houses and the unique atmosphere of its narrow streets. It is no wonder that it has been entered on the UNESCO World Heritage List. Be sure to visit the Royal Castle. It was there the Constitution of 3rd May was passed, the first in Europe and second in the world. In the former home of Polish rulers, you will see the royal apartments, paintings, and Rembrandt and canvases by Bernardo Bellotto, also known as Genitello. On the castle square stands the column of King Sigismund, third Vasa. Who moved the capital of Poland from Krakow to Warsaw in the 16th century. The oldest and the highest secular monument of the capital is an excellent landmark where locals of Warsaw often arrange to meet. The old town square is the oldest and one of the most charming squares in Warsaw. It's impossible not to fall in love with this place. It was laid out at the turn of the 13th and 14th centuries. Festivities and markets were organized here, but convicts were also executed. Although it's more than 7 centuries old, its form has hardly changed. In the middle of the square stands a statue of the Warsaw Mermaid, the emblem and guardian of the city. former residence of Mazovian princes. Once the capital was moved to Warsaw from Krakow, the castle served as seat of the king and the government, completely destroyed during World War II. Built in the 15th century, this castle served as residence. But it was renovated repeatedly and destroyed. This remarkable copy of the original castle, blown up by the Germans, is filled with authentic period furniture and original works of art. The mammoth red brick castle began life as a wooden stronghold of the Dukes of Mazovia in the 14th century. Its heyday came in the mid-17th century, when it became one of Europe's most splendid royal palaces. In 1918, after Poland regained independence, it became the residence of the president. Its reconstruction didn't get going until 1971 and took 13 years to complete. The royal castle is situated directly at the southern part of the old town, at the castle square, Plac Zamkowy, in the heart of Warsaw. The castle can be reached by bus or tram. If you intend to use the metro, switch to bus or tram at Ratusz Arsenal, heading in direction Praga, and get off at the next stop. Sigismund's column, a monument built in 1644, located in Śródmieście, or the Castle Square, it's the oldest public monument in Warsaw. Its concept was created by Italian urban planner Agostino Locci and the Italian architect Constantino Tencala. The statue of King Sigismund III was made by Clemente Moli, and the bronze casting is the work of Daniel Team. The monument is modeled on columns erected in ancient Rome. The form refers to the focus column from 606, and the founder wanted it to take precedence over the grandeur of all Roman monuments. On the pedestal, topped with 4 bronze eagles, there are 4 bronze plaques with inscriptions in Latin. The 8 meters shaft is made of granite, and one at the top there is 275 centimeters bronze statue of King Sigismund III, Vasa, with a saber in his right hand and a cross in his left hand. The whole monument is 22 meters high. Krakowskie Przedmieście, one of the most famous and representative streets in the historic part of Warsaw. The northern section of the Royal Route, about 1.1 kilometers long, it runs from Castle Square to intersection with Copernicus and Nowy Świat. The current name of the street comes from Krakow, the former capital of Poland, to which the roads led. Krakowskie Przedmieście derives from the former route running south to Jasdow, Czersk, and further to Krakow. The suburbs at the Krakow Gate began to form as early as in the 14th century, and in 1454 the Bernardine Church was built next to them. At that time, the area in front of the walls began to be called Bernardinsky Square. Today, this is the name of the square. Krakow. Wooden houses were built here by various craftsmen. This road also became a great place for the construction of representative palaces of magnates and royal family. It was also a great place to celebrate triumphal entrances to the city. The street became a representative artery of the city. The best shops were located here. The most distinguished people worked here. In 1907, electric lighting was put into operation, and a year later, an electric tram. Palace of Culture and Science has been in existence for 66 years and still arouses emotions. Some people love him, others hate him, but he leaves no one indifferent. On May 2nd, 1952, the construction of the Palace of Culture and Science in Warsaw began. Erected as a gift of the Soviet people to Poland, Warsaw residents commonly referred to as Beijing. In 2007, it was entered in the Register of Monuments. It has 46 floors, including 2 underground levels, and is 237 meters high to the top of the antenna bracket on the spire. Soviet builders erected it for 1,175 days. Its architect was Lev Rudnev, the author of Moscow high-rise buildings. After the building was opened, the press wrote, "If a child were born and, without leaving the palace, he slept in a different room every night, he would leave the building at the age of 22. Originally, the bridge was built during the constructions of the second line of Warsaw's defensive walls at the transition from the old town to the new town around 1548. It was rebuilt into the Barbican. The designer of the building was the architect Jean-Baptiste the Venetian, together with the nearby Ravenna Gate and the Powder Tower. He created the so-called the Zakrochim Gate. Already at the time of its construction, the Barbican was anachronous and did not fulfill the most important defensive functions, mainly due to the development of artillery. Only once in its history, it participated in the defense of Warsaw during the Swedish deluge, when the troops of King Jan Kazimierz recaptured him on June 30, 1656, from the Swedish hands. In the 18th century, the Barbican was partially demolished, and in the 19th century, its remains were incorporated into newly built tenement houses in its place. Then the walls were reconstructed thanks to demolition of the house standing there. In the 1939, all buildings in the old town were destroyed. After the war, due to lack of funds, the Capital Reconstruction Office decided not to rebuild the tenement houses surrounding the former city walls. Instead, it was decided to uncover their remains and rebuild the Barbican. The reconstruction was carried out in the years 1952-1954 under the leadership of Wacław Podlewski on the basis of the 17th century engravings. The works used inter alia Gothic bricks from the most tenement houses in Nysa and Wrocław.